What's happening, party people? We are in Benson, Arizona, headed through Tucson into Phoenix, then likely to Las Vegas. Man, it's kind of early. Hadn't got my thought process sharp yet. Yesterday I posted a video and my phone number was wrong and Tucson was spelled wrong. I don't know how that happened, but it does happen. And YouTube helped me out by making sure that video had twice the views as all of my normal shorts. So a lot of people got the wrong phone number. My phone number is on my website and that number is correct. So I should always refer people to my website, but anyway, that's where it is. If you want my help, want to have a meet and greet, something like that, call or text me. Somebody in Tucson left me a message. They said they had a V70. They wanted to have a little meet and greet, have lunch or something like that. I cannot find that message. If you call or text me, I can pretty much usually find those messages as long as they're not more than 6-7 days old. Because the messaging app I used to use was awesome with the search bar. This one that came with the phone, not so awesome. I had the other one on my phone and it, I guess, was retired. They shut it down, so I had to switch to this one. And it's hard for me to search messages, so we are writing contacts and stops and appointments in a notebook so we don't miss people. And I can't find that text message from the guy in Tucson. But hey, if you're there, you see this, send me a text message. Here's the number. We can have breakfast or something like that. Short meet and greet before I roll into Phoenix. Now, we stopped in Benson, Arizona because the prices of the rooms in Phoenix and Tucson, besides the fact that it got dark and late and we wanted to stop sooner than later, are outrageous. I don't know what's going on in Phoenix. Maybe Taylor Swickley or whatever her name is, or Usher or somebody's in there doing a concert, because man, those hotels was 3-4 times the normal price. And hopefully they're not that price tonight, because man, I might have to work 14 hours to cover that stuff. Anyway, hopefully the prices will drop tonight, Sunday night. Saturday night, they were ridiculous. But hey, we're leaving Benson, going through Tucson. We got work appointments in Phoenix, so we'll be there. And I got appointments in Las Vegas, so we'll definitely be there. This video here that I'm dropping this on has some of the stuff around the New Year's and headed back to Lincoln to finish up that BMW. So I hope you enjoy these clips. If you're in the schedule, hope to see you soon. Now, man, if you are considering whether or not you want me to help you and you do not have your parts, you really should get your parts. I got somebody in Oregon that ordered a head gasket maybe 2 months ago, and they still don't have it. And when I get to your area, I simply cannot afford to sit in a hotel without working and wait for parts. I just financially can't afford it. And most people do not want to I guess, sponsor me to sit in a hotel. Every day this trip is like a $500 day. And man, if you got it, hit the lottery or something I don't know about, and you can drop $500 a day while I sit in a hotel, I'll do it. But other than that, you really got to get your parts. And if you want to talk about it, call me so we could talk about it, determine whether or not you want your parts. A guy in Phoenix was contemplating whether or not he wanted to do his timing belt. And he sent me pictures, and I don't know where that water pump originated from that someone put on that car. Because water pump failure is a big deal in wiping out a cylinder head. And some of these water pumps are not making it 5,000 miles. People put them on their car and they're failing. You know, I'm at the point now where if it ain't Asian, I just don't do it. I don't want to take the risk. Why take the risk? Now, if you got an emergency situation like I had one time, I was driving across the country and I got a low coolant light. I jumped out the car and looked. The water pump was leaking. The water pump was coming apart. I made it to the nearest AutoZone and I put a water pump on there from AutoZone and made it home the rest of that trip and replaced that brand new water pump with a known good quality one. Timing parts are just not worth taking the risk. I mean, why pay $250 for a timing belt kit with junk parts when you can pay $250 for a timing belt kit with good parts? Make it make sense, you know. I mean, I don't love Amazon or eBay that much that I want to give them my money for junk parts when I can give my money to a part supplier who supports my brand. And I've said it 1,000 times in these videos, man. If you know me, you know I try to encourage people to support the companies that support your brand. Because when things start drying up, they're the only ones that's going to be fighting for you to get the parts you need so that you can keep your car on the road. Whenever a car runs out of parts, you know, like the Volvo 960, that's when it's time to cut bait and run. You know, just get rid of that vehicle. Always have a vehicle that you could get parts for, because manufacturing parts for cars is just not fun, and putting old busted parts in your car because it's less busted than the part that's in there is just a sad situation. It's not comfortable. Just some people can afford to have parts manufactured to put in their car. If you can afford that, go right ahead. Have a car you almost never drive, stuff like that. But most of us, like myself, we need to drive our vehicles just about daily, and we got to get parts to fix these things. So that's what I've said it 1,000 times. So if you know me, that's my take on parts availability. So anyway, if you would like my help, need my help, or anticipating my help, call or text me and get your parts so that when we come through, we went through El Paso and the people there did not have a mechanic that could properly diagnose their situation. So my stop there was primarily diagnosing their situation and hopefully servicing their air conditioner in a way that it would not leak the refrigerant anymore. And fortunate for them, we'll probably have to go back close to their location and we will be able to put those parts in a month or two. Other than that, you really should get your parts. Now, some people get away with not having their parts because they're looking at parts readily available at the dealer or parts that they could get in a day or two while I work on somebody else's car. That's fine. But some of you guys are in locations that you are the only work that I have. And short of me staying in the hotel for a day or two while we overnight parts. Well, let me take this back. We overnighted parts on Thursday night, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was Thursday night. And we got those parts Monday. 4 days waiting for overnighted parts. So, you know, that's not something you want to, and it's happened before. I've been in places like San Diego, ordered parts overnight. They didn't get shipped for 3 days. You know, it's just, man, please get your parts. Love to help you. Another thing, somebody asked if I worked on other cars other than Volvos. And if you want to know well, first of all, let me say this. Most mechanics can work on any car because they know basic mechanicking and they have repair manuals that they use to follow the procedures to do the job. Now, are they proficient at it? Doing something they never done before? No. Can they do it without destroying other things? Probably. If it's a 30, 40-year-old car, will they probably break something? Probably, but usually they can get through the repair because they are a mechanic that has experience and they have instructions. I said all that to say this. If you have something, some project or something you want to do with your car, regardless of the manufacturer label on that car, I could probably help you get it done. However, it may take a little longer to get it done. Now, I've worked on red blocks, 240s, 740s. I used to own a bird tone, done a lot of different work on that. I had a lot of different Volvos. I've worked on P2s, P3s. I've worked on Maseratis, BMWs. If you want to know if I know how to work on the vehicle you need work done on, pop open the YouTube browser, type in the type of car you have, and add Robert DIY to that search and see if that video comes up. If you got a BMW, you type in BMW 325 Robert DIY, hit the search button, and see if it comes up. And from there, you can decide whether or not you need my help. And man, I'm not begging you for your help. I'm saying, hey, I'm out here trying to help people save money and getting work, maintenance, and projects done on their vehicles. And if you want my help, I'm willing to help you. If you don't need it, that's great. And I never want you to wait. A guy made a statement the other day that he was patiently waiting for me to come do work on his car. And I've never asked nobody to wait for me to come work on their car. Now, he said that statement in kind of a argumentative point he was trying to make. And the fact of the matter is, I don't know how many people are traveling to your location to replace transmissions or do manual swaps and stuff like that. So I don't know if you're waiting on me because you're doing me a favor, or you're waiting on me because you know you want it done right, and you want to save money doing it. Probably the latter of the two. But man, I wish I could drop what I'm doing, come to the next request I have and take care of that. But in the name of this being somewhat economical, I have to catch people as I travel. I just can't finish what I'm doing in Baltimore and drive with all your parts to Seattle and work on your car and then finish there and drive all the way to Alabama to work on the next person's car, then drive up to Chicago. Man, do you know how much it costs to cross the country? You know, I did an estimate for a guy. Actually, I did an estimate for myself. For me to leave New York, fly to LA, pick up a car and drive that car back to Cincinnati, and then fly to New York to get back to where I was, that was like $1,200. You know, the expense of the flight, the cost of the travel, gas, meals, then the fact that I'm transporting this vehicle, I'm losing money on work every day. It's about $1,600, you know, so that's just stuff I can't afford to do that. So, you know, I gave one guy an estimate, hey, to get me to drop what I'm doing, come do your manual conversion, and then pick up where I left off, was about $4,400. And he said he wouldn't do that, so he chose to wait. Okay, so wait, I understand. But if you need to do something in the meantime, do something in the meantime. Hey, half the time, if you would contact a mechanic and have your car transported to them that is able and willing to manual swap at $850, the closest one will probably cost you $5,000-$6,000 to do a conversion. So paying me to stop what I'm doing and go do it would probably be cheaper than having somebody semi-local doing it, and then to ask a mechanic to shut down their shop and come and do that at your doorstep, you're probably looking at 8 to 10 G's. That's why mechanics don't do it. They can't shut down their shop and come and help you do some project on your vehicle that may or may not go well. Heck, most of the time you take your car to their shop, and ask them to do a manual conversion, it'll be sitting there 6-8 months anyway. So by the time you wait for me, it ain't gonna be no different than having that transported to somebody's shop and having them do it. I talked to a guy right now. He had a shop put a cylinder head on his car, and he's trying to get that car started. That's been 20 months, 21 months, just trying to get his engine put together in his car and get his car started. You know, come on, make it make sense. So anyway, I didn't mean to get off on that tangent, but hey, I'm doing my best to make rounds to help people that would like and need my help. So I guess that's the bottom line. So I hope you guys enjoyed this clip. Sorry this intro was so long. Hope to see you soon if you're in the schedule or want to do a meet and greet. Have a great day. In this video, I'm going to show you how I service the transmission on these Volvo XC90s. My model in particular. We'll show you the fluid to use. Check the fluid for your model. I think this should be done every 50,000 miles once the vehicle reaches 100,000 miles. Now I'm doing 3 draining fills, and there are other procedures for doing this. One of the procedures is over servicing the transmission so that you could get more of the fluid replaced or mixed per se. The way I do it, I think I'm getting about 50% of the fluid changed. This is 3 draining fills. The way I've seen other people do it online, overfilling it and then checking the fluid and properly topping the fluid off or draining some out of the service hole gets you about 55-60%. Not a big difference, but you may use less the way they did it. I think it's pretty much the same. I'm going to use 8 liters. That's pretty much what they did. Now I will say this, my transmission was shuttering in second and sometimes in third. After my first draining fill, which I think is 33% of the fluid, it stopped doing that. It's running better already. So these other 2 draining fills are just going to be a plus. Do it every 50,000 miles. I think you'll be fine. Next on the list, headlight restoration. As you can see, that headlight assembly is starting to get some cloudiness in it, and this one definitely does. So I bought the kit. I'm gonna pull the lights and do the restoration. Now you could unplug all of the wire harness connectors, or you can hit the easy button and just get this one down here, which is like a O2 style wire harness connector. You put a little screwdriver in there and you start to lift this up, and you unplug it while you lift that up, and all the wires are still connected, and all the wires are still connected to the light, but you got one plug to disconnect from the assembly. And that's how that plug looks when it's disconnected. And you could put a rag or something on the bumper so you don't mark up the bumper pulling the headlight out. Get you a headlight restoration kit. I recommend that you do this the first sign you see that your light assemblies are getting foggy, and keep some kind of UV protection on your light assemblies so that the sun doesn't deteriorate them. Let's get started. Just follow the instructions on the kit. Got the 2 XC90 headlights done. They look a little frosted, which they should. Now it's time to hit this S60 light. That thing looks horrible. We're gonna clean it up. I have 3 hazy headlights. They said they need to be totally dry. Water is the enemy to the ceramic coating I'm gonna put on here. So I got all 3 of them treated. And what they look like wet is what they should look like treated. So we'll let them dry a few more minutes and treat them. And they're supposed to dry for 1 hour. And man, that came cleaner than I expected. That looks good. I wish it looked a little better. It's got a little wear line on it. But this one was worse, and it looks good. Just as good as the driver's side one. So got some good looking lights. I got the headlights back in, man. They are looking good. Restore those things before they get too bad. It's dark, so I think I'm gonna shut it down for today. Pick up tomorrow. I'm gonna detail the engines tomorrow. I'm going to fix the latch on this trailer and do my last transmission fluid change. So I'll be here tomorrow. Just finished servicing the transmission in our XC90. It's a 2014. This is the fluid that my mechanic said they used at their shop to do these vehicles. You want to check and make sure you're using the right vehicle. Now, mine was shuttering in second, sometimes third. About, I don't know, every other day, occasionally. When I did my first drain and fill, which was about 33% of the fluid, it quit shuttering. So I was fortunate. You could have a problem with your valve body. You could have a problem somewhere else in the transmission. But usually about 50% of the time, it's just a fluid issue. This is the third drain on that fluid, and that stuff is like black. So each time I drained it, I got about that much fluid, which was real close to 2,500 milliliters, about 2.5 liters. So that's what I was putting back. Now, I bought 8 liters. The first drain and fill, I did 2.5 liters. The second drain and fill, I did 2.5 liters. The third drain and fill, I added back 3 liters. And then I warmed the transmission up to at least 50 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is Fahrenheit. I'll put it in the description area below. But I got within that temperature range that Volvo recommended. Then with the car in park, started the car, ran it through the gears a couple times, minute or two. Then I pulled out that center fill hole and let the fluid drain out. And when it started dripping, I put that plug back in. Be careful, the fluid's hot, and that way you know the transmission has the correct amount of fluid in there. You're not taking a chance. So I usually just put back what I drain out, and that's what I did the first 2 times. But the third time, I just wanted to make sure the level was correct, so that's what I did. I put that bolt in about 20 foot-pounds, and the other 2 bolts were put in at their proper spec. The one under the transmission, the big one, is 35 Newton meters, which is about 28 foot-pounds. The small one is about 6 foot-pounds, or I think that's 72 inch-pounds. So I'm putting the air box back in, the computer back on it, and we're all done. Transmission's doing great at 230,000 miles. I didn't unplug my mass airflow sensor. I left the air box intact, so I just put that back down in there. It looks like the air filter is due to be replaced, so I'm gonna replace it. I took the seal that was stuck to the computer. I put the seal on top of the air box. Now I'm gonna set the computer in place and screw down those T30s. Next, I moved my wiper blade up, I think a spline. It was all the way down here touching the trim, and that's a good way to mess up your wiper blade. So I put it there. Hopefully that's a perfect spot for it, laying along the line there, and moving on to the next task at hand. When we purchased this trailer, it had a bad latch on it. Seized up and all the above. The handle's busted off, the key's missing, and you could latch it if it was working. So we went to a couple of supply places and found a replacement latch for it. So I'm gonna drill those rivets out and replace this latch so that this thing will latch normally again. So let me get my drill and drill bits and drill these rivets out. I actually have this stepper bit, but you really don't need it. Probably a small drill bit is fine. You just need to drill down into the rivet until it pops loose. Once it pops loose, you can move on to the next one. That one's loose for less. And we should be good to go. Let me open it up and release it from the inside. I used a little pry tool. This is loose out here. See what we got to do to get it loose from under there. Oh, That helps. All right, now we're ready to grab the replacement latch. That's the replacement latch there. That's what it cost me. Doesn't come with any instructions or nothing, so you gotta lose your common sense there. This is the top side. As you can see, they're kind of identical size. Here's the bottom side. Don't do that. Now this one is designed to latch under here. So I don't know if I'll have to trim that or not. But let's put it in and see what we got. I imagine I need to get some hardware to attach these so that it could lock on the ends and those holes as well. So let me go get some hardware for that, and let me see if this will latch and keep it closed. Next thing I need to do is pull the rivets through from the inside. So I need to pull those 4 rivets through, and I'm also going to scrape off the silicone that somebody put there because they didn't have a gasket. They were using silicone to try to seal the water out of the trailer. So I have rivets, but no sign of a rivet gun. So I'm gonna go to the store, get something I need for inside the house, purchase a rivet gun, and get back here and finish. Had to go buy a rivet gun, so I got one now. Should fit that adapter. Let me set the latch here and rivet it in. It looks like I also could bolt this thing on there, so I got some hardware for that. All right, let me push this in and rivet it down. The latch is in place. Now I have to go inside and see what's necessary to do to get it to latch inside and to put my throw rods on there. I brought some hardware to get these attached. Let me hit these with my wire brush and see if I can get these attached. So I got the screws and nuts on there. Now I need to put thread locker on there so that those nuts don't come off, or get some self-locking nuts, but that's where we're at right there. You may also be able to screw some plastic in there to stop those nuts from coming off as well. Just don't want them to screw themselves off. I have those nuts on there. I put the screws through the top so that if the bolts vibrate off, the levers will still be in there. But I think I'm going to try to nick the end of the screw so that the bolts don't come off without some effort. So I'm gonna grab some pliers and nick that last thread. You don't want those falling off and then you can't get your thing unlocked. Also, this pin that comes out this way is not latching on there properly. It's probably too long. So I got to decide whether I'm going to cut the tip of this off so it latches, or if I'm going to slice a hole in it. I'm probably going to cut the tip of this off so it just goes under that. So I'm going to have to climb in and mark it. Well, I don't have to climb in to mark it. I can mark it right here. And it's either that or slice a hole in this thing so that that thing goes in that bar, which is not necessary since I got something. I cut the tip off with my Sawzall. While I was doing that, the hardware fell off. Anyway, let's see if this works. Just a little tight in there. There it goes. It's locked in place. So it's probably a little tighter than it should be, but it is latching. It's not that tight. It looks like it could be adjusted. That thing needs to be adjusted up as far as it can, because right now it's loose. It's probably okay. So let me try to adjust that up a little bit more so it's pulled a little tighter, because right now it's Got a lot of space there. I could probably go 1/8 of an inch up to make it tight, but when I push this down, it's even going to be worse. So I could probably go up about 1/2 inch. I wonder if maybe I should have adjusted it down and just made it go under under my thing there, but I'm gonna go the other way with it. At any rate, here I am. Close and latches. This latch is kind of tight. Something's hitting on it. I might be a little longer than I need to be. Probably need to file that down just a little bit. Let's see what it looks like going this way. I don't know. I don't know why it's binding. Yeah, it's scraping the metal right there. Scraping the metal right there. So I need to file a little bit of that off. But it's not making pressure contact, so I don't know if that even matters, because I'm about 1/2 inch down on that. I could probably just cut the whole thing off, probably like they did. But anyway, I'm done for now. It's locking on the ends. That's what matters. What's happening, party people? We are going to kick off the Tinker Day, straightening out this mess. I got to get that stored properly so it looks professional. Only thing I could find wrong with the repairs on our, the heck is my hood release at? Hyundai, is that this screw was missing. Now I went and bought one from the dealer and it's different. So they gave me that one instead of that one. But they put this one obviously in the wrong place. It belongs back here, and the one I got belongs here, I think. So let me switch that up. Who knows, maybe all these are in the wrong place, and these two are supposed to be here, and all of these are supposed to be in the side. So I'm gonna switch it up like that. Looks like Wrench Apart Roosevelt, San Antonio, Texas has a petting zoo or something. The website said it was manual, but it is automatic. From this XC90, I got the end pieces off of the cross rails. I got a tab off of this light that's missing off the one I just bought. And I got the wire harness for the tow hitch with the fuse thing in here. It's plug and play. So that was a good little haul. Let's go check one more vehicle. Well, this is the first junkyard find for me. Horned goats. Just keeping it pretty clean. They got a pasture up at the entrance with grass in it, but they just have free range. Came back here, checked timing. It was off about 4 teeth, both cams. Put the crank on the mark. So we reset the timing. Got everything hooked back up, getting ready to fire it up. You want to reach in there and turn the key?
Sure, I didn't type these down, but that should be okay.
If it cranks, it'll start. All right, hold on a second. Make sure we got fuel up here. You got COP? Yeah, you got coil on plug. Yeah. Go ahead, try it again. Huh?
Did I get it locked?
Yeah. All right. Doesn't sound like it's getting fuel.
It doesn't sound like it's getting fuel?
No. I mean, it doesn't sound like it's like firing with fuel. I did get this 850 running, but it would only run on like 3 cylinders. So we did another compression test, and 2 or 3 cylinders were totally dead at 0 compression. So he's going to pull ahead or do a leak down test to figure out what's going on and go from there. We are here in the Deaton, Texas area, about to do timing belt job on this 98 S70. Water pump, most of the gasket come off, and it was starting to leak. This is 27 years old, 28 years old. New belt, new pump. These rollers and tensioner got about 35,000 miles on them, maybe. There should be good. And a new tensioner with a gate incision on it. We are good to go. Let's add some coolant. Got the thermostat replaced with the 10 mils. Look at that brand new idler serpentine belt tensioner. Go ahead, fire it up. Make sure it tracks straight. All right, shut it down. You never heard that scraping sound before, have you?
No.
Did you hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah, something ain't right. That scraping sound was the metal little timing belt guard under the harmonic balancer. The harmonic balancer was scraping against it, so I had to loosen it, making sure it was properly in place, and then tighten it back up, and all was well. Got it all done and moved on. Kicking off the Tinker Day, trying to get some parts people need the most. Whoop, whoop. Man, that truck's got some HIDs on it. I need to get a set of HIDs and retrofit them in my 850 or one of my 850s, because, man, I got a problem with the lights on Pepper. Those lights are everywhere. Let's go see what they got for some Volvos back here. Supposed to be an 850 here and an S70 here. Row 308 and row 409. Let's see what they got. Well, they definitely don't have nothing on 408. That road is empty. So I don't know why they're marketing cars on row 408. And I don't see no Volvos on 407. So I guess that road's been cleared out. All right, that road was 409 and it's long gone. No 850s. Let's see what's going on here with this S70 on 308. And I can see the back of it, so that's a good thing. It's still here. Yes, doesn't have any windows, and it's got a spider. A spidey spider. It's an automatic car with some roughage in it. Man, this thing is rough. It's barking rough. Do. Jeez. Oh, it's a 2000. It don't have nothing I want. Because it doesn't even have an oil block-off plate. Nope. I guess I'm done here, folks. I don't think nobody else wanted anything off of this car that I could think of. It's a slick top. Nice. So, I'll be on my way. Nice seeing you. Well, let me return from whence I came, because I forgot to check and get the door latch. That's what I came out here for on this S70. Wow. Man, this looks like a 928. Porsche, there is no substitute. 928, folks. 1978 model. Legendary vehicle. I think that was Ferris Bueller's Day Off, where he took his uncle's Porsche and drove it into a lake trying to impress some chick. Yeah, that never goes well. Impressing chicks. Never goes well. One of the marvelous improvements from the 850 cars to the P80 S&V 70 cars is the design of the door latch. And if you don't know it, these door latches are failing, not at an alarming rate, but they're jamming and you can't get in or out of them. And if that happens, you probably are going to have to destroy that door latch and possibly your door panel. The door panels can come off without destroying them, but the door latches unfortunately are not surviving repairs and you have to replace them. Unfortunately, there is no global supply for them and you need to replace them with a used one, to my knowledge. That's what I'm being told. And there's just no supply, so I have decided to collect as many of these as I can to help have a supply for these things. If you have one that's failed and jammed the door, very few people know how to get that thing open. I made a video a couple of weeks ago showing you what I did to get it open. Handy Dan made a video showing how to get the door open with a jam latch. I was not successful as he was in doing it that way, but at any rate, if you have a door stuck closed, you will need a latch whenever you do get that busted latch to release that door. So go to my website, get you one. If you have a couple of these cars, you may want to get a spare so that if and when you have a latch failure, you can get a replacement latch, or you'll already have a replacement latch for it. So you're welcome, and again, you're on my website. Get you some. Have a great day. If you made it this far, I trust that you found some information that was either useful or entertaining, so go ahead and hit the like button. And if you would like notification of future videos that I post, please subscribe to the channel. I appreciate your support. You can follow me on other social media apps by looking for @RobertDIY. Some form of that should bring up the other channels that I have on places like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and so forth. If for some reason you need some more personal help, go to my website at robertdiy.com and use the phone number that I have posted there to send me a text message, or you can email me. If you have questions or comments, please make a comment below. And if you'd like to make some kind of financial contribution to what I got going on here, go to my channel and hit the more link at the end of the introduction statement, and it'll show you different ways that you can support me financially. Again, thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day.